Ah, yes, of course. Many months back, I decided that my lockup was so untidy and so disorganised that I desperately needed something done about it. So I thought, even if it takes me a week to organise it so I know where absolutely everything is, surely that will be worth it in the long run, because currently I'm paying to come down here to not get anything done because I can't find this or that or what have you to actually do the job properly. And that's what this video is all about. Want to see some proper progress? Well, keep watching. Here at PNHQ today, it's a real hive of activity, which is to be expected because lots of things happening, lots of things, and lots of things happening for me as well. All right, oh god, oh no, the zip doesn't work. I forgot about that. Oh well, probably get too warm anyway. Whilst Bosie was around here yesterday, he asked me, what is the future of the yard and Project Nigel? So I had a chat with him about it. And then half an hour later, he asks exactly the same question. So that could be because he wasn't listening, or he forgot that he asked, or that my answer wasn't satisfactory. I don't know. What I can tell you though is, with so many changes going on in the yard and so many things having to go, this is my opportunity to make sure certainly the shop end of the yard is tidy and not horrible to look at. Down at this end, it's not going to matter too much. So I'm going to make sure that all of the shit comes down here today. And then once one more car leaves the yard, I'm going to take out the car that's in here, called Christina, and start working in here. And when I say working, what I mean is deciding what stuff to keep and what stuff to simply throw away. That means that starting from this end, I'm going to remove anything that belongs to me and bung it in a corner somewhere down there. And then we're into the actual main lockup itself, the area in which I try to do some work. I've attempted this a few times of actually tidying it up and having it workable, but I always end up reverting back to having stuff everywhere and getting lost. This time will be different. Ready? Once I've made a decent clearing around the back there, and I'm satisfied that somebody could walk in and not go, oh gosh, look at the state of this, I'm going to pull everything pretty much out of here, get this thing scrapped, and start again in here. I mean, start again. I'm going to pull everything out, pull everything out, pull it out. Start again. Now then, what's about to happen here today? Lots of lovely things that make me happy and gay. Come on, little doggy, get out of the boot. Hoo 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 hoo, we'll have a hoot. Come on. Oh, do you want to stay there, dear? Well, looks like she's rather settled in the boot of this car. Wilbur, would you like me to keep this car? Well, would you? Well, you're a good doggy. Well, we're about to start something rather exciting here in the yard. And I don't mean this big space suddenly being filled up with containers. No, I prefer it as it is. But my last ditch attempt to get organised in here. Once this car has gone, scrapped, that will give me another space, another opportunity. Now, I've tried this before in here, tried to organise it, and I always end up getting so far and then getting lost. I've tried just having a tidy workbench. Works for a few days and then I end up cluttering it back up again. This time, This time it's really going to work. Mark my words. By the time this video is over with, oh, you're going to be surprised indeed. So, if it has a place to go, it will go there. The fridge will be yet again detailed. If it is of no use to me, it will be binned. If it can be sold, it will be sold. Okay, Wilma? Wilma? Today is the day that I start to clear this lockup out. The idea is to clear it out properly, start again. So it's important that I don't get myself too distracted. Yeah, I don't mean that. It's currently 3:20 on a Friday afternoon. So what's really important now is I don't faff around. I just get on and do something. So I can make a proper dent on this. And then I can be inspired to further carry out my mission to make this a proper, workable space. Are we ready to start? Yes, we are. Let's start. Don't be bloody stupid! There's a matter of these wheels and wheel trims and this piece of wood there, and the shelves that are all full of things but not necessarily with any great order. The floor being dusty, covered in leaves and batteries and vacuum cleaners. There's an engine there that I'm probably never going to use. That chair has been sat up there for a while. Well, it was rather exciting to sit on the chair on the top of the bench for a while, but then I stopped doing it. And the rest of this place is just full of a similar kind of thing, and then we have an MGF in the middle as well. But over this side is where it really becomes a problem, because it's piled up on top of pile up. The carpet there that came from my car Nigel, the inlet manifold from a V6, even the foam patches left over from when I did Nigel's headlining is in the way. This is the point where it's time to start thinking about what stays and what doesn't stay. When I have my bike down in the other lockup, or this bike, because this lockup is a bit more secure. Only because I bung a car in front of the door. Now that area there, the bench, the two shelves and all the bits in front are what I shall tackle first. As I start to clear this area, of course the real problem are these two engines in the way. So the plan is to have them in the way somewhere else. That means engine crane, trailer, towing them around the back into the other lockup. Simple, but indeed. Oh yeah, right, well there's a car in the way here, and I'm thinking I'm just going to put the engines in here, of course. This car will need a jump. I brought the booster pack down to start it, put the keys on there, and then the keys fell down there. Okay, now, is there any chance of me retrieving them? Yes. Right, I think that means there's not enough power in the battery. An hour into my tidy up session, and from here it doesn't look like there's any difference, but you see the bench is slightly clear. I've got an idea. I've got a friend called Boaty, and he suggested the other day when he was here that I really should have myself an area in the lockup where I sit and do other kinds of work, such as editing, because quite often in the evenings I don't really get the chance, so I end up working way into the night and not doing other things. If I could dedicate a part of my day to doing exactly what it is I'm supposed to be doing in the first place, then surely that would be fine. And see it. Nice clear area with no engines. Nice clean bench, a chair, a carpet on the floor. I can slip my shoes off whilst I sit back and do some work. Have myself a permanent tripod mounted here, or even as it goes, just like that. There. And then as I sit here, I can make my, well, a different kind of video, I suppose. Well, that's the end of day one, and I'm filthy, a bit tired, but at least I'm not. Hello, and welcome to what is going to be my new work area, which from your angle you can't really see whether it's of any use at all, so I'm going to have to show you. There we go. I have a chair on the dirty floor. I have a bench with a tripod in it and nothing else. The bench has been incredibly difficult to get clean, and in actual fact I don't think it is clean yet, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. Brilliant, eh? I want it to be spotless though. Oh, spotless. This isn't an area that I tend to sit around in particularly on the other side, well, because normally this area is full of engine and other bits of things. So what am I going to do with this space here then? Because it's currently occupied by not very much. And I do have these kind of areas, boxes full of things to sort out later. And those boxes full of things to sort out later are becoming increasingly abundant. Rightio, onwards and upwards. It is now October the 28th or something like that. Could be the 27th, maybe the 26th, but I think it's the 27th. And I'm about to make some more progress today, if I can find the time. Certainly got the motivation. Alison, yeah, this car is called Alison, that's its name. And this car is going to be finding itself a new home. And I don't mean somewhere without me, I mean somewhere else in the yard. It's going to go into the other lockup. Yep. And this space is then going to get worked on properly. But first of all, I'm going to use the new space I have acquired by taking this car out of this lockup and bunging it around the back, so the MGF can live in here along with the other trailer. Yeah, that's something I forgot about though. Maybe the boost button will actually... No, I need a battery and some jump leads to trick this into getting a bit more power, so it can use the booster and then turn the car on and go out of here. I have got plans for this one as well, but I need to get the other place sorted out first, and then I can come back and do this, so that's going to be a completely separate thing. All part of the same exciting escapade though. Although it could very easily be interrupted by the arrival of a whole load of cars that... oh god. After a few days doing other things and going looking at a barn find, etc., I'm back eating nuts. Now I have to clear my head because what I am up against is there's no shortage of shelves. No. In fact, there shouldn't be a shortage of room. But what there is a shortage of, decision. Yes, decision on where the things actually go. Look, Bernard bench, the under part of it's been used for storing big plastic boxes of things that I don't really use very often, but do come in handy. So this one is the first one I've pulled out, and then we see this. Ow! Ow! Oh look, there's some paint under there. See, I forgot all about that. Right, back to the point. Here we have a, oh sorry Wilma, just clunked ahead. Fuse box. No, the other day I was looking for fuses. Didn't think to look in here, did I? So the only thing I can do really would be to decide on places, like, because it's the small things, you see? Small things taking up big spaces. Fuses shouldn't take up a lot of space, they can just go into a pot. But then it's the decision of where that pot goes and me remembering it. So what I'm going to have a go of doing, and I've tried this before and it didn't work because I didn't see it through to the end, is to effectively draw a map of the lockup and the shelving. Oh, Wilma, put that down. Is this taking things too far? Quite possibly, but I want an end to this situation. The lockup of dreams can be no accident. Good day. Untidy, disorganised, and getting emptier and emptier all the time. These two shelves have now been confined to this one box that was under there anyway, but now renamed Tom, because of course it is Tom's stuff in there. As long as I can have it tidy, out of the way, don't have to think about it, better. These shelves now, I'm going to continue clearing these off and then reorganise them, you see. Also the welder, look, this is the first time the welder has had somewhere proper to stay. It fits quite nicely in there. The trouble with welders, of course, is you have 3 items of spaghetti: the power cable, the torch, and of course the earth lead. 3 things. It's quite a lot, isn't it? Well, I mean, it's not difficult to count, but it means 3 things that are in the way. I reckon it'd be nice if things like this could come with detachable bits instead. You know, detachable. That would be so much easier. It appears that we have a little guest arriving. A little guest in a little car. As a fairly good example of not using space effectively, these are all clear and the stuff that was on there has fit there. So now it's a matter of deciding what to repopulate this shelf with. If I do it correctly, all of this will fit on there. An interruption from what's been going on in the video so far, but then again, whilst moving stuff from file to file, I've discovered that it's not an interruption, it's all parts of the same video. I've just been having a chat with the landlord. I always talk to him, I get on okay with him, he's fine, he's a nice guy, I like him. Now, he's got a bit more of a plan on the go here than what's been revealed so far, and that is, not only is this rather useful car park going to be changed from a car park into a container park, we're going to have a big fence. A big fence that goes from those stones there right the way to that post there, because he wants to make it as secure as possible. I obviously want to remain in his good books, yeah, so I will do whatever I can to make sure I'm not hindering any of this. But unfortunately, there's still one car that's in the way of what's happening next. It's that one, because this is going to be on the other side of the fence if it's left there, which means it will be trapped forever, and the massively powerful turbo lump will not get the opportunity to sing its heart out until it explodes. So I'm going to have to move it, but it's a bit tricky because of the uneven surface. I can't push it, so I'm going to have to pull it downhill. Wow, the hedgehog of truth is back. So I have removed any of the junk from behind, which I needed to do anyway. I want to remove as much as possible. I am trying to be responsible here. And I'm going to have to pull it down with the Peugeot. Yes, that indeed runs the risk of the Rover suddenly breaking away and either hitting that post or the back of this car, which by the time you see this video won't even be mine. So obviously I'm going to apply common sense to the matter. You don't just set off down the hill with it, no. You've got to do something. Well, you'll see. If I create the tension in this strap between one car and the other, then I should be able to release the handbrake on this and it should just roll back. That is indeed the theory. If it goes wrong and Tom's car hits the lamppost or something else, well, I'm afraid that's the consequences of not moving your car, you big hairy munter. Now I know this is a very long video and it's going on a bit already, but hopefully I've managed to keep it interesting enough. But as I have now my little area, work in progress, my little sit down area should be as comfortable and as familiar as possible. Obviously it's familiar, but it's all about making it my own. So watch this. It is now the 16th of December, so happy 30th birthday to my newest car, which of course I didn't even know existed at the beginning of this video, because that was quite a while back, and I have somewhat neglected the whole tidying up process a bit over the past few weeks. It happens, but I'm going to get back to it today and try and finish it off. Yes, and over at this end there are some more parts that have come into the lockup that now need to be organised and moved somewhere else. I also need to fix this lamp here. That lamp. So the area where I actually want some work to go on, it's kind of... Come on. Go on and stay on. Almost. Oh. My previously cleared area has been, well, affected by the donation of a back box and a toolbox that I haven't put back away, and the spare wheel and engine cover from the 75 that wasn't here when I started, and all of these boxes of things, the spares to go with the Tourer. Because they're all new parts and they came as part of the deal with that car, I feel excited enough to have them hanging around. The fact is, they're probably just going to hang around and hopefully none of those bits will ever even be needed. So there's not really a lot of point in them taking up space up here, is there? In the time it's going to take me to drink a cup of tea, I'm now going to remove all of the new stuff that's here just so I can be back to where I was a few weeks ago. So that is that wing, this glass, those wheel trims, those boxes and bits of trim, that wheel, that engine cover, those bits down there, and that back box as well. After a while, I kind of stopped filming and just carried on quietly in the background to just make something work out. The more I was filming, the less I was actually doing. So anyway, here we go. Here's the finished results. Duh. Yes. Doesn't it look almost exactly the same as before? Stuff all over the benches, stuff all over the shelves, stuff all over the floor. What we see here is a complete failure of task. And every time I start doing something, I have to put it away. It doesn't really work. I've just failed at it because this video should have been finished a while back and on the other channel, because there are people that are interested in seeing me do a bit better than what I'm doing. But because I've not really got, well, I mean, I've spent a lot of time organising, tidying, etc. And it's just back where it was. As soon as I start using things, I just don't really put things back that off, right? You know, it's just, the problem is it's been cold, it's been wet. If I'm doing a job at the moment, it's not pleasant. And all I want to do is, if I've finished it, I just want to go off and do something else where I'm in the warm. Better luck next time.